All right, now we're moving on to 10.6, secants, tangents and angle measures. Okay, only new information today is just going to be whatever a secant is. All right, we're going to come up against that in a few minutes. So let's have a look at what we've got now. Okay, in section number 1, we're going to look at intersections of lines in your circle, either on the circle, which is a tangent, or inside the circle. Okay, let's deal with the inside of a circle. Whenever you get two secants, which is where your chords extend past the circle, what do you do with them? Well, if you have a look at what we've got here, okay, when it crosses on the inside, bear in mind it must not go through the center, then the arc AB plus the arc DCD, add them together, okay, and then divide through by 2 will actually give you the angle 1. Okay, now obviously you can do the same with that to get angle 2, or if you found angle 1, just purely and simply subtract it away from 180, it will give you the same result. So let's have a look at what you've got. These are intersecting inside as chords. Okay, so let's have a look at example A. Here's the basic formula: add together the two arcs, divide through by 2. Sometimes you're going to have to do a little bit of fiddling about, but you should be okay with no problems. All right, well, the two arcs that you're given is RS is 84 and TU is 130. Add them two together, you get 214, and you need to divide it through by 2, and your answer is 107. All right, in B, this time you've got secants. All right, difference is they're outside the circle, look, but the same principle is exactly what you had before. It's where they cross inside the circle. So half of the two, the sum of the two angles added together, or the two segments added together. Okay, so a half of 218 is 109. Okay. Okay, so now we're looking at a tangent. So this line is your tangent, and don't forget your tangent is where it's perpendicular to your right angle, the right angle of your radius. Okay, so you've got a tangent and a secant where they meet at point A. All right, and you want to find angle A. Well, when it touches, when it's a tangent, it's purely and simply just half of the arc. So whatever arc AB is, the inside angle is just going to be half that. So let's have a look at example 2, part A. All right, the arc is 148. All you want is divide that by 2, you get 74. All working inversely. If the angle is half of the arc, then the arc is twice the size of the angle. Well, if the angle is 64, then you're going to multiply it by 2, and you finish up with 128. So let's have a look at example 1. Okay, you are told that you've got to find angle 1, which is this guy. So angle 1 is just going to be just purely and simply arc BC plus arc AD, and when you finish that, you divide through by 2. So in other words, it's 134 plus 86 divided through by 2. Well, then what have you got here? You've got 220, and you're going to divide that by 2, which will give you 110 degrees. All right, so now the next one, let's have a look at 3. This one's where you've got the tangent and a secant. All angle 2 is just purely and simply 146 divided by 2. Your answer is going to be 73 degrees. All right, keep it simple, easy. All right, so you just notice that when you've got two intersections that's inside the circle, you add the two arcs together and divide through by 2. Well, now we've got intersections on the outside of a circle, and as you notice this time, now you subtract the smaller arc from the bigger arc and divide by 2. And as you notice, the first thing that they give you in example 3, part A, they don't tell you what the bigger arc is, you know, HJK, but they tell you that HK is 102. So the first thing you've got to do is subtract that from 360 to find out that the fact that this arc is 258. Now you have your two arcs. You can subtract your two arcs, divide through by 2, and you get 78. Alright, in example B, now you've got the inverse again. This time you've been given the angle and you've got to find the arc. Well, don't forget, it's subtract the two arcs and divide through by 2. So working backwards, you are going to double the two arcs. In other words, you've got to get rid of your half, so multiplying by 2. So 112 will equal the bigger angle, subtract the smaller angle. And then obviously if it's the bigger angle, subtract, and that will equal 112. Now you've got to add 95 to 112 and you finish up with 207. Let's have a look at question number 4. Okay, first of all, you've got them that meeting outside the circle. So this time it's going to be 88 minus